Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Comics Discourse 114. I'm one of your hosts, Brian Newberry.
And I'm the only other host today.
Brian is world traveling, as happens during the summer. So it's just me and Hassan. We did not phone a friend this week. It's just the two of us. And we're gonna do top of the stack because it's been a while. We were looking through the list. It's like we try to do these once a month, but I think it's been almost 2 months now.
Yeah, I think because we did the mid-year favorites, it kind of got lost in the shuffle. I had to get it stacked shuffle.
Oh, so for those listening that are new, this is just us talking random new issues that have come out over the last month or two that we're really digging, or sometimes it's just other stuff we're reading that we're not featuring on the show separately. So, Hassan, my stack right now is 154 unread newish comics. So I'm a little behind, but there are some stuff I'm current on.
Okay,
Besides this week, I'm current on all of the Absolute books. So I've
me
not
too.
read the two that came out yesterday. So I figure we will talk that because Absolutes always make it. Um, I'm going to talk briefly about Avengers Armageddon.
Okay,
And
I read
that's because
that.
I feel it needs to be discussed. Um, I got a punt on a lot of the stuff though, because we're talking about having a show on this later. I've read a bunch of Ignition stuff, and I think I've hinted at that lately. Um, I'm digging a lot of it, but I think we're going to do that separate. Uh, yeah, some JSA, some yeah. Well, we'll see what I pull out of my ass as we go through here, but more than likely, it's probably going to be a lot of DC. But I see you have a huge stack there. What do you want to start with?
Well, the last thing I read, let's start with that. I read it this
Okay.
morning. Uh, I was excited when they announced this book because I really, really love the creative team. It's by W. Maxwell Prince and Martin Muzara with Chris O'Halloran. I'm talking about the Deadman. It's the Ice Cream Man team, creative team that also did the Superman Kryptonite, Spectrum Kryptonite miniseries that I also absolutely love. It's kind of funny. I still haven't gone that much deep into Ice Cream Man yet. Yet I love this creative team.
I've only read the first deluxe. I have the second, but I just haven't gotten back around to it. And then the Mortal Coil deck thing, which I know you love that too.
Oh,
So,
yes, I did. I'm not going to go, page by page, but the thing I love about this is, like, the first issue was a lot of setup with Deadman, and there's a lot of dialogue. I would say this, they're very dialogue heavy,
yeah.
the books, and this one's no exception. But the first issue set things up. This one, he goes to Gotham, and he teams up with two heroes. Guess who's two heroes?
Batman and Plastic Man.
Oh, you saw that?
I haven't read it, but since you said you were talking about it, I opened it up.
Yes. And Plastic Man was the unexpected. When I hear Gotham City is always Batman, but yes, and obviously also Deadman and Batman have a long history, so it makes sense. But oh my God, they should do a Plastic Man miniseries after this. Just the few pages they use him in, so funny.
Well,
Um,
flipping through, I see a full page spread of some weird character, and all I see is Mr. Bloom just killed a elongated man.
yes,
It's really Plastic Man.
I know. And then they and I didn't do the research if this was a true villain from Brave and the Bold back in like early days. I think it might be the way they wrote it. But they have a page talking about this guy, this villain that's able to remember everything he's read, and it's so funny. In They go back to he's in prison because he became a criminal because he had all this knowledge. He wants to steal books. Um, it was just a stupid
Oh my God,
reason. Yeah.
Hassan. You don't know who Mr. Bloom is?
I do know who Mr. Bloom is. He's
Okay,
from.
I thought you said you thought he was from Brave and Bold. I was like, he's on the cover of Batman 43 by
No,
Scott
I'm
Snyder.
talking about a different villain. It's this
Okay.
guy, the big holography, and he's an old villain. And the funny reference that they did was it sounded like this was like recent, in like a couple years ago. Deadman and Batman team up to fight this villain in the early days. And but when they go to prison, like wow, he looks like he's 50. That's because the story actually took place 50 years ago,
Mhm.
not a couple years ago. And they did a lot of good, interesting things with the panels. It's like we
Yeah.
like one page story with a title is pretty cool. That they do breaks. And Plastic Man, oh my God, he's just so crazy. So he was spying or investigating some criminals who dressed as mummies to steal museum um, pieces. I'm not going to say what museum pieces. So he was a lamp. Plastic Man was a lamp for nearly 2.5 weeks. I cannot stress this enough. That is a very long time to be a lamp. And there was this one mummy, I think I watched him play maybe 1,000 games of solitaire. And you could see in the panel, Plastic Man has a lamp that's whispering to him, Four of Hearts. And things don't go well. Things don't go well for Dead Man and Plastic Man, or in Batman. There's some other interesting guest appearances in here. So no, I think it's a lot of fun. You know, I was I really liked the first issue, but I love the second issue. I think it pulled me in a little bit more. The first issue really sets up the villain. I skipped the main villain a little bit in this issue, but it's just the execution that really pulls me in. Um, and the way they play around with storytelling. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting because Deadman's generally not this bright, and the colors make the book very bright. So it's a little jarring in some cases because it is Deadman, but yeah.
It is on my list to get to um,
Well, let
pretty
me talk
soon.
about just speaking of Batman. I know I said I won't talk about Batman books because I don't really read many, but I have been reading Poison Ivy, and we're on the road.
Oh, wait, wait, wait. I mean, the mayor of Gotham City, Poison
Mayor of
Ivy?
Gotham City,
Okay.
exactly.
I just want to make sure
Um,
I've got the right one here.
yes, but things are not going well for Poison Ivy. Worst mayor ever in Gotham, which, by the way, is a very low bar. Gotham City mayors, I never remember a story where Gotham City mayors are ever any good. Um, but this is dealing with Poison Ivy, and really it's mostly with her, the supporting characters, this issue, but it deals with the ramification of Ivy sort of losing control of the city, not really do being a great mayor, and she's also going a little more on the dark side on this, which she has done before. So again, G. Willow Wilson, awesome writer. I can't believe this is issue 46, so we're almost gonna be issue 50. That's crazy. Um, the art on this story arc is Lorendo Fernandez, great art too. Um, but yeah, it has appearance of Catwoman, by the way, as well. So yeah, a lot of fun, fun, interesting story. I'm looking forward to Bad Seeds crossover event.
All right. We hadn't talked about this one in a while. It's a Marvel book of all things,
Okay.
written by Philip Kennedy Johnson with art by Adam Gorham, The Infernal Hulk. You current?
Almost current, but you could talk about it. I've been
All right.
digging this book a lot. It's fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's continuing the his Hulk run before, except now Bruce Banner is separated from the Hulk, and the eldest is taken over the Hulk's body and kind of turning the world into monsters type situation. Um, we find out that the the Hulk wants to rule mutants as well as monsters. They're kind of in its wheelhouse. So if you're going after mutants, who you going after, Hassan?
Um, well, if I was the Incredible Hulk, I would go after magic or the power for mutants, but I'm sure he's going after Wolverine.
Oh, you're close. He just goes after mutants in general, but he does steal two of them from the Alaska team. Um,
Oh my God, the
one of
Alaska team.
which, yeah, yeah. One of which you will not he and Magic throw down though. Magic stabs him with her sword. But this Hulk actually, even though it's kind of magical, doesn't give a shit and kind of shatters her soul sword. Um, he steals Madrox, the Multiple Man, and Glob Herman of
Who's the
all.
th who's the third one?
Glob Herman, the
Oh,
big pink dude with the skeleton inside of
oh,
him.
okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. He's making them some of his horsemen of, I want to say the apocalypse, but that has other connotations, but it's pretty well his horsemen of the apocalypse. Um, and the Avengers and X-Men and Fantastic Four are going after this Infernal Hulk. Um, Bruce Banner is with them. He's left Betty in that little town where they're holed up, and she's pissed because she's there for Bruce, and he just leaves to, and she thinks he's trying to become the Hulk again, and she ends up calling her father, who spoilers is apparently now running Latveria.
Yes.
We'll talk about that in a couple minutes. Um, but Bruce takes them to this underground place that they found um, that Hulk was at one point, and it's actually being ruled by Hulk's son now, not the one that died in Imperium, but Scar. Um, so it's just we're bringing in various other Hulks, but we also find out that Bruce Banner is now immune to gamma rays. It has no effects on him. It's all been stripped, and he's like, I can't become Hulk again. I can't reabsorb him because the whole thing is they need a Hulk to fight a Hulk, and
Yes.
Banner's out. So he goes to try to talk to Brother Voodoo, and Brother Voodoo's pissed at him. He's like, "You're bold coming back here." Um, we have yet to see what was her name.
The
The
little
girl.
girl. Yeah, we haven't,
Yeah.
because he thinks she's dead, right? I thought that's something happened to her bad, I
Yeah.
thought.
And I don't think we've seen her in a little while or this series at all. I'm sure she's gonna pop up again. But you know, Hulk Hulk hands is that the mutants their ass, and then like I said, steals two of them and is making them their horsemen. I can't remember how long this is supposed to go. Does I
Uh,
know
They're
it's kind of
supposed
been
to.
announced, but
So I thought they announced that this is going to end soon, but go into a versus miniseries where he versus the Marvel universe.
yeah, which I've already kind of seen. But I'm gonna segue into like I'm enjoying the Infernal Hulk, so
I am too.
I'm enjoying this run. Now let's talk about something I did not enjoy, and it's Avengers Armageddon, where by Chip Zdarsky and Leo Diaz and Frank Alpizar. Um, Austin, this is just a paint by numbers Marvel event. Like I
It
really feel like we took five different events and mashed them together into this, continuing from the Doom event, which we haven't seen shit from except for a couple specials nobody bought since it ended. And this
well,
might be me being really negative, and I'm sorry. I know they had those Armageddon lead up books that I tapped out of too.
I read the Armageddon lead-up books. They were fine. They were more entertaining than the normal Marvel book. But I think it's like they're putting the eggs on this new Captain America that Chip Darcy introduced in his Captain America run, where he was the Captain America like right after 9/11. Because they changed everything in Marvel where was unfrozen after 9/11, which they say DC doesn't, DC reboots, Marvel never reboots. I mean, they keep changing when Tony and Iron
Well,
Man
they keep
became.
sliding the time scale. I mean, shit,
It's weird though.
Tony Stark didn't get injured in Vietnam at this point.
Well, it's not even, but they put in. I think they put in some like recent war, but now that's old probably. It's like, come on,
Yeah.
how many Captain Americas can we have had already? We already had that history of previous Captain Americas, but now they add a new one. But this now Captain America, I don't know, he has some superpowers he got from the boxes from Ultimates, I believe, if I recall. It's been a while since I read this issue. Is that what happened? I think he got some powers. Um, but it's like it's very similar to the previous events, like you said. I'm not a big fan of the focus on the Red Hulk at all. Um, it's like they're trying to make the Red Hulk be a big thing, and I don't get it. Um, so it's fine, I would say, but I feel like it's another political event, right? They had one with one word on the Doom. They had it even with the vampires, right?
Well, okay. So this one is Red Hulk's taken over Latveria since Doom's gone. So that continues from One World Under Doom, like you
Yes,
were saying,
but that
which
that
that continued from Blood Hunt, which is
yeah.
what you said. But now we've got another precog something that's reading the future here for the Red Hulk, who is going to now take over not just Latveria, he's going to invade other countries. The UN instead of the US is stepping in. So there's threads of civil war in here and Civil War II with the precog. And then World War Hulk, since we're fighting a Red Hulk. It just seems like literally the same shit again. And sorry, I don't like to crap on books, but I'm not going to read any more of this. And then to your point, there's this other Captain America that can fly, that's now in here. And somehow this is all going to spin out of to the new Avengers book, which is this is how it's setting up. I'm not excited
Oh,
for. I'm just not.
I'm so excited for the new Avengers because even the setup might not be great. Like I did not like Avengers Disassemble at all. Remember Avengers Disassemble? I didn't like it at all how they destroyed the Avengers, but I did love New Avengers, so we see. I mean, I'm okay. Like sometimes how we get there is a mess, but what comes afterward might be better.
Legends.
Legends was great, but um, uh, I I'm I'm not like I'm not excited about the event if you honestly.
I'm
And
not gonna read any more of it. I pushed through the Doom one just because it's like maybe this gets better. I'm not anymore. It's just
I'm
it
gonna
doesn't
keep
do anything for me.
I'm gonna keep reading that because I do like Chips and Dawsey. So I'm gonna read it, um, but not top of my stack for sure. I did read another event. It's not Batman. It's not Batman related. Ghost Machine has started a mini event called "Who Are the Unbelievables?" And they have a special called the $1 Trillion Kid, issue one, as part one of four. And then that crosses over into Hornsby and Halo and oh my God, who else? What's that family name?
The Rockefellers.
So thank you, the Rockefellers. So, so the first issue is written by Jeff Johns and Peter Tomasi. Um, And then the art in the first issue, Stefano Simone is the artist. Honestly, the $1 Trillion Kid, it's like their version of uh, Richie Rich. But instead of being millionaire, he's $1 trillion kid because
Yeah.
it's today. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not liking this character because I'm not he's I don't know it somewhat bothers me. He has a robot butler. So the first part of this crossover, this event didn't really pull me in, honestly. Then I read Ish Part 2 with Hornsby and Halo. I thought that issue was really good because the $1 trillion kid became a side character. And the main character is just Hornsby and Halo, which I will say Peter Tomasi has really developed those two characters. I really love the kids, the personality. I'm still digging the book. It's not high on my list on the Ghost Machine side, but it's still entertaining. And I think what makes it really good is the characters, like the way Peter Tomasi wrote it. Um, and the art is by Peter Snyberg, I think how you say it. And so, yeah, and really what's going on is the $200 kid is looking for a group called the Unbelieveables because he's looking actually for his parents, thinking they would know what happened to his parents. Um, I don't want to really spoil it because I want people who just came out the two issues. But again, if you like fun comics, and it's not a big event, it's only 4 parts, you know. Um, so I would definitely recommend picking this up. It's fun, especially if you've been already reading Ghost Machine.
Yeah, I'm a little behind on Halo and Hornsby and the Rocket Fillers and Redcoat, actually. Um, Hassan,
Yes,
how do you feel about a character called Firestorm? Is it somebody you've ever read?
I know. Who's Firestorm? I never read Firestorm.
Yes. So I have not read issue 4 yet, but I've read issue 3, which I
Firestorm.
really enjoyed.
Yes. Which one? So remind me, because I read that when the day it came out, so it's been a month because issue 4 just came out.
Well, so all the Justice League's attacking the Firestorm Matrix, but this is where we get the behind the scenes with Professor Stein
Yes.
doing his machinations to create Firestorm, and we find out it wasn't an accident, and he's just really a manipulative supervillain asshole. Um,
Which is interesting. And it's by Jeff Lemire. I don't have the artist in front of me. Remember who's the artist? If you,
Raphael Delator.
thank you. What's interesting is the the original Professor Stein was a loser. Couldn't hold a job, couldn't hold his marriage. He was portrayed as a real loser in the comics. And here now, he's not portrayed as a loser at all. But he still has a very negative personality trait, which is actually more so, which is he's not a nice person.
No, not at all.
He's
Like,
not the surrogate father that was originally in the Firestorm book. And what's interesting, he's Jeff Lemire is using kind of the same idea that Jeff Johnston used in Doomsday Clock, which really they never used afterwards. But I did like that concept. I think it actually made sense. It actually linked to the Cat Adams origin as well more. So even though I'm a fan of the original books, I don't mind them changing the origin. I'm not like, it's not like, hey, instead of Batman, it's kind of like it's like Scott Snyder changing the origin of Batman in Absolute Batman. It's still the character. It still works. I think it still works. It gives a really interesting perspective on the relationship.
I actually like it more. Um, we do find out that Professor Stein specifically picked Ronnie for
Hmm.
this because he was easily manipulated.
Yes.
Um, and Professor Stein wanted to be able to control the power. I guess at some point, Ronnie's like, only one person should be Firestorm, and I think this is how we're where we're at right now. Firehawk is still trying to hunt him down and goes and approaches Jason Roush. So we do get some of the legacy Firestorm shows up, but Jason's like, "Nah, I'm not having nothing to do with this. Just please leave. You're gonna ruin my life. I done my superhero thing. It did not work out. Leave me alone. Please leave me alone. I'm gonna be a dad. I can't get mixed up in this shit. Please leave." like, because she's begging him to help, and he's
I
like,
know.
keeps telling her no, 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 and I'm like, good for him. Um, but she's hunting down Professor Stein and does eventually find him, and he's in a cabin in the woods, losing his own mind. But we get all this history and flashbacks and stuff. We still don't really see Ronnie in this issue at all, except the Firestorm Matrix taking down all of the Justice League. And I mean, Supergirl and Martian Manhunter, he hands them their ass. That's how powerful he is, and uncontrolled. Um, so yeah, it's kind of cool. I'm enjoying it. I need to get on to issue 4. Um, but the uncontrolled firestorm matrix is coming for Pittsburgh. It's coming home, and military's freaked out because there's like 2 million people there.
Yeah. Have you ever read any of the original Firestorm books?
Just random issues that are like crossovers to other things.
There, I would recommend like reading a couple of the early Fury of the Firestorm. There's an issue, a couple of issues where he actually fights the Justice League, and even back then, they wrote him in. He's pretty powerful. I mean, he could be. Um, and then how he meets Lorraine for the first time. She didn't have any power for the first like 2 years almost. Very Spider-Man type like, whereas he has meets somebody that ends up having powers eventually, and she's older than Ronnie. So, um, but yeah, I'm very happy that you're liking one of my favorite books dealing with one of my favorite characters of all time.
Well, while we're talking about Jeff Lemire, let's just stay in this vein. We're hunting for the Spectre.
Yes, yes.
Oh, JSA, that's a new storyline, which we now know we only have 3 issues left with um,
That's
Lemire
Lemire.
on the title.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he is bowing out. Um,
He did say originally he only planned to do it for 2 years, if I recall, and that's all he said he was going to be on, at least at the beginning. So he's doing his 2 years that he said he was going to do. So,
well, this issue, this storyline, the Spectre is unleashed, which we've seen before. We've seen him
yes,
on Without a Host. What was it, Day of Judgment?
I
Wasn't that
never read
the
Jason Judgment.
I was shocked because that was straight in the Morrison era. Oh, but that was also in that era of like Titans that you didn't read.
Yes, yes. That's when this is that. I thought that was right before Morrison's run. No, it was during.
I think it
Okay.
was during or after or right about in there.
Because yeah,
Um,
because that's where Hal became the Spectre, right? Oh
yeah,
no,
because I
oh,
think
is that how Hal died? Did he die and become Spectre in that same event?
I think that's how he became it, but it's been a while since I've read it.
Okay.
But I know it was after because I think Zariel and the
Wait,
host with the
I'm confusing Final Night with Day of Judgment. That's what I'm doing.
yeah,
Final Night, he dies. Day of Judgment, he comes back. That's
it's
right.
bad. Um, so we've seen an uncaged Spectre there. So this is a little different take on it. Um, but this time the Spectre is jumping between hosts, and it's pretty well every member of the Justice Society is the Spectre for at least 2 minutes. He seems settled on Alan Scott's family with being Obsidian for a little while, then Jade real quick, and then landing in Alan Scott. Um, all the while, the young kids are traveling with Mobius or Metron on his Mobius chair through time and space, getting a history lesson on the Spectre
Hmm.
and his various incarnations over the years. We find out he was a fallen angel fighting for Lucifer Morningstar and begged for God's forgiveness, and God made him his wrath, and all of that. And we get various hosts throughout the millennia of his. But we do see a fight at the gates of heaven, and it's against the angels that look like Zariel,
Yep,
and
yep.
then all the demons look like the Spectre. They all have wings.
I really enjoy. I like the Spectre a lot. Let's to be honest, I love the way the Spectre looks, and I also don't like the way the Spectre looks. Like it's comics, so I'm used to it. But it is kind of funny that runs around, he's all white except for his litter
His little
trunks.
britches. Yeah.
Yeah,
Except in Kingdom Come, he ain't wearing no trunks.
yeah. But anyway, it is weird. But I do think the cowl and the cape is a great design. Right, the white, forget about that. And the Spectre, speaking of powerful characters, is probably one of the most powerful characters in the DC universe, right?
Yeah, I
So,
love when the quintessence come up to him is like, any one of us could destroy you. I'm like, bullshit. That Guardian of the Universe can't destroy the Spectre. I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah,
Phantom Stranger and the Spectre are about same on the same par. Zeus not even in the running.
yeah. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen with the Spectre at the end. Because I'm trying to think is,
It's going back to Jim Corrigan. It
yeah.
always goes back to Jim
Well, because
Corrigan.
he hasn't been with Jim Cornyn for, I want to say decades, right? I'm trying to remember, because wasn't also that cop of Gotham Central was also Spectre for a bit before,
Yeah, but didn't they like make a new modern version of Jim Corrigan and it ended up with the Spectre?
in doing the Rebirth, you mean? Or New
Yeah, at some
52?
point. Yeah,
I
I
get
can't remember.
confused, but I agree with you. But I agree. I mean, Jim Cornyn is a great character too. I thought
But
so.
it's
But
dated
yeah,
at
but
this
Man of
point.
Xanadu was also in this issue. The one thing I thought that didn't come across is the fact that Man of Xanadu and the Spectre were like, you know,
Effin.
have a relationship. Yes.
Yeah. Um, and now we're also tying. Oh, wait. I got it mixed up. The Quintessence was saying all that to Darkseid that any one of them could take him out. It's because he was standing next to the Chain Spectre.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah,
But to
no.
your point,
And I forgot that,
it's linked to All In Special.
yeah. And Highfather is one of the quintessence is like he can't take Darkseid out. We've been having this fight for millennia, and the Highfather can't. And I forgot they replaced Zeus with Hera in that group now too. Um, and then Shazam, the old wizard. But yeah, it's tied heavily to Darkseid as well
Yes.
here. But they're talking about, oh, we got to go back to the beginning, and it circles around. So they're just laying the clear groundwork that Corrigan's going to be the Spectre again.
I wouldn't
Um,
mind that.
you know what? I also wouldn't mind if Kit Nelson would come back and be Dr. Fate, but we've had that discussion.
I agree. It's the classic characters work the best because there's a reason why.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind them handing off the Mantle of Fate, but it's just not working. They've tried it multiple times. We had the Linda and what's his name.
Yeah, I
Her
know.
her. We shouldn't talk about that too much. And then the dude in the '90s that
Oh, that got
melted down all.
killed very quickly.
Yeah, that got killed in Justice Society One, which was a
Yeah.
mercy killing at that point. Like we and
I
now Khalid had just hasn't clicked.
really well. It was when Hector Hall was Dr. Fate because they linked
That
it
one I liked all right. Yeah.
because they also linked it back to Naboo, the
Uh-huh.
Hawkman connection. That one actually made
The
the most sense.
reincarnation of all of it.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. He had a screw up of love life just like the original Kent. Um,
Naboo was talking to him, and this
yeah.
one, it just seems like Khalid doesn't know what the hell he's doing, and somehow he's related to Kent Nelson, so he got the helmet. It's just not working for me.
Well, I think it's because Dr. Fate's supposed to be the most powerful. Again, when Naboo and the helmet is in control, Dr. Fate is one of the most powerful beings
Yeah.
on the planet. And also Squadron, because there's a history where Dr. Fate mask, like even in comic books, wasn't a full mask. They did like a half mask.
Yep.
And Roy Thomas did it where during that time period, Naboo was in control of Dr. Fate. It was all Kent. But he wasn't as powerful.
Yeah.
The full
So
helmet is the best though, dude. The full helmet.
when I do like kind
You
of the
gotta go all
modern one
full. You
where
gotta
they
go
put
full
where it does
helmet.
full helmet. I like the classic look, but I also like when they start putting designs around it
Yeah,
etched in metal. That can look cool too.
yeah.
But yeah. So, well, real quick, you current on Minor Arcana?
I am not, but you could talk
I don't
about
really
it.
want to talk too much about it, but since we're talking about Jeff Lemire, um, he did make an announcement that he's folding that one, which is a little a shame because it seemed like a slow burn. I remember when it was originally announced it was going to be 60 issues, and even the current last issue that just came out, he had said we're going to have four deluxe hardcovers of like 15
Yeah.
issues each, and it's going to be each a house of the or each one of the parts of the tarot, cups, swords,
Hmm.
wands, pentacles, and it looks like he's ending it. I don't know if it's sales or if he's just not feeling it anymore, or if he just feels like it's run its course. But we're at issue 16. I don't know. I can't remember what issue he said he's going to end it at. Do you?
25, I thought.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
it's hard in today's age to have a 60 issue run, right?
it
And
is.
and I also think I know it sounds like a ding to Boom, but it is. I don't think Boom was really promoting it well, and I think that might be a part of it too. And Jeff Lemire is trying. I remember reading this article that Jeff Lemire, why he's going to these different publishers, he just wants to keep his options open. Um, I think Boom is not the same as it used to be. And then there were, he started. I think he signed the contract before Boom changed management and all that. So yeah, I'm not surprised. I've been digging the book. I
Yeah, I've
like
been
it a
enjoying
lot.
it a lot. I mean, I like to have a couple piled up and read them all at once, but um,
It's also like a
yeah, I just
different.
hope we get a satisfying ending since he's about cutting it in half.
I, I I think so. I think so. At least, and then, I mean, I think about comics history. There's been times where a run ends earlier, and writers will be like, I wish I knew it was ending. So at least he knows that he's well, obviously it's his own book, but he has control over it. He probably has to write a tighter story. I'm sure it'd be a satisfying ending. Maybe there's some development that he can't do, some side character he can't focus on anymore. Um, but what the thing I like about the book and Jeff Lemire's like creative own stuff is it generally feels different than other books on the market. So that's why I really always pay attention to what Jeff Lemire is doing.
Always gets a try at least.
Yeah. Well, have you speak of this? Have you current? And this is you've been asking me these questions. I'm going to ask you: Are you current on End of Life?
I have not read the latest issue, but I am loving the series. It's
Dude, we're
fun.
like behind on everything. I'm ahead, you're behind, vice
I haven't
versa.
read issue 5.
Yeah, no, no.
I've
I
read
read issue
Wonderful.
5. So let's talk about it. It's Carl Starks who versus Obviously we had him on the show. We love everything Carl Starks puts out. This is no exception. Actually, this is I think one of my favorite books he's ever done. Is this End of Life? I think every issue gets better and better. It's drawn by Steve Pugh, who they worked together on Peacemaker. The first issue he built up all the supporting characters, but then absolutely starting with issue 2 and 3 and 4 and now 5, you see how it all plays out and how, and also his relationship with his father keeps changing. So the main character is the most stupidest thief slash assassin you ever to know, right? He's an
But he's a
idiot.
badass too. He's
He
dumb
could
as
kill.
shit.
He's a badass, but he's not the brightest tool in the shed. In fact, he's probably
Yeah.
the dumbest tool in the shed. And his father was a former killer assassin himself, right? And you think they have a typical father-son relationship where the father hates the son hates the father, but it's more complicated than that. It's a lot more than a true emotional level. You could tell the father loves the son. You could tell the son loves the father in a different sort of way. It's so good. I don't want to spoil it, but it's so funny. Karstark's dialogue is hilarious.
It's a
Um,
fight with a giant cock, Hassan. It's hilarious.
And even Steve Hughes' art is just incredible. The way he draws the different characters. Um, yeah, it's just hilarious. It's just hilarious.
I had thought it was a limited series, and then I realized it is ongoing because I thought like it was just going to be the plot with this event here getting him out of the shit he started in the first issue, but it didn't click with me that it was a an ongoing.
Well, hopefully it continues. I think
Yeah.
at least 12 issues. I don't know if it goes past, but yes, it is like an ongoing. I think some of the Vertigo books that they launched will be new, like I sorry, limited series, but this one is ongoing.
Um, have they announced any more Vertigo books yet,
Yeah, they
really?
did. The Ram V book is coming now.
Okay.
Here, hold on.
It just
This is
seems
great.
like there was a big launch for all this, and then DC's kind of just not really said much about Vertigo.
No, 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 no. They have these new Vertigo books. What they're doing is because they announced what like I think 10 books, but they didn't want
Yeah.
all 10 books to come out at the same time. So like for example, the new 100 Bullets miniseries that came out, issue one, I read that. That was really good. They have this thing called The Black Tower, The Raven Conspiracy by Ron V. and Mike Perkins. That starts
Yeah.
in August. Bleeding Hearts is ongoing. And then Life is ongoing. Um, that Chris Condon series that I've been enjoying, that is going to be a series of mini-series. So it's not, it's technically semi-ongoing. So yeah, I think they're spacing
That
them
the
out.
brutal whatever the brutal dark or yeah.
Yeah.
I still have all of those to read. Like I've got them, I just haven't read them yet.
No,
And then
I'm
Nice
current.
House should be ending soon.
Nice House is, yeah, it's been delayed though. Like that, yeah, that should, the
Yeah,
last
we
issue
still have
comes out in September supposedly.
yeah, we still have two issues to go on that. And who knows if there'll be a third series. If there is, I kind of hope they write them all and then put them out because one of these there's been massive delays in between both series.
Yeah.
I'd rather them just have them in the can. So because that story is so I love it. It's just so complicated, kind of like you talked the other day about a Hickman book.
Yeah.
You can't read it month to month because you can't keep track. And Nice House doubled its cast this time, and it's just hard to keep track of who all these people
I
are
agree,
and
but
all
I
their
didn't.
relationships.
I agree with you, except I think I said it in the future, not in the past.
Okay, it's all running together. I didn't specify when you said it.
I'm a time
Oh,
traveler.
yes. Anyway,
Oh no, you're a part of the time traveler because I didn't know what you said. I haven't said it
yeah,
yet.
I'm looking at my crystal ball.
So since let's talk about, I'm going to talk about some quick hits on some image books. I think I talked about these when Brian was on, and they're like Image has been doing a lot of new number ones, and they did like one called Odin number one,
I
or new
read that one.
series. But you read number two yet?
No, because I decided to read something else instead. That one about the oil of the earth. I
Yeah,
read
I will.
issue
I
two
read.
of that, and then
Yep.
Odin.
So Odin is by well, this talks create team by Margaret Bennett, James Tinian the fourth, and art by Kodoniki. Yeah. Um, and then I read Of the Earth number two, Chris Carden, Charles Alder, and then I also read, which is my favorite, If Destruction Be Our Lot by Matthew and Mark Eliza Rosenberg and Andy McDowell. So these issue ones we talked about on the show previously. Either I think you didn't read them. Brian Clark and I read them. I think you read some of them. I think you might read if
I've read all the first issues at this point of
yeah.
the Earth one and two. I still haven't read the second one of the robot.
The reason I want to bring this up is normally you read issue one, you go, oh I love it. There's a hold with issue two. I think issue two for these books are still strong. I'm very excited. Odin is fucked up. That's all I'm gonna say. Well, it continues talking about what happened to NFS one. What happened to NFS one, Brian? What did they find out? This cult of Nazi supremacists. There's a reporter that joins them because she wants to do a exposure on them. So she's pretending that she's a white supremacist, and they do this like oh, let's go travel, do this like mumbo jumbo shit, and it ends up being true, like weird stuff, and they all black out, and then they wake up to discover that they ate one of their members.
Yeah, it gives me in a weird way. I don't think you really watch horror movies that much, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay. So you won't get this reference. It reminds me of in a in a weird way, Midsummer.
Oh
Um,
yes, I did see that one.
yeah, and I can't quite put my finger on why because it's different enough, but I'm getting similar vibes. I mean, there's no Nazis in that or anything, but it's just, yeah, weird kind of cult bullshit going on. Yeah. I am out of the ones I read, I think this will be the one I like the most between that destruction and um the of the earth.
I enjoy Of the Earth. I know you thought it was okay. I really enjoy the mystery. The first issue is a good setup. You get the shocker where she's trying to go home and she sees her grandmother all freaked out in oil, and then you see more of what's going on. Issue two, there's some twists and turns. It is definitely a horror story as well. Um, I really don't want to spoil what's going on, but I do like the way Condon is writing the characters. You really get to feel what the characters are feeling emotionally. We get a new character in issue two. And again, they do a great introduction. And the art by Charlie Adel is great. But my favorite of the three, I'm also a big Matthew Rosenberg fan because I love his dialogue. If Destruction Be a Lot. In this one, the Abraham Lincoln robot still is going on. He's trying to escape this destruction um, because he saw a human. And it's just, it's very great dialogue, interesting storyline. The thing I like about it the most is the creativity around the it's science fiction and the creativity around creating this society of robots and the different way the robots interact with each other. And the art is incredible. I mean, I don't know how this artist spent all this time drawing this because every robot looks so different. So
Well, we
really
went on
enjoying
the
this.
giant bus.
I know. So I know I'm really enjoying If Destruction Be a Lot. I'm enjoying them all. I'm enjoying them all. But if I had to pick my favorites of the bunch, it's that one.
All right. There's been an elephant in the room we have not discussed. You ready to talk some trippy shit?
Talk about Martian Manhunter.
You knew it. Yes.
So
So Gumby's done for now.
yes, um, it is done
Desper
for now.
Zero is gone. It's man, this book was weird. I mean, we got elements of dark side buried in here. Um, I think I sent you a note like I really feel like he was making a loose allusion to the endless at one point in here with despair becoming delight. Did you catch that one?
I didn't catch that one.
Yeah, there was a line in here about it. And I'm like, because um, those are the two youngest endless,
Yes.
despair and then delight, who becomes delirium. I maybe I'm reading way too much into that comment, but man, this book is trippy. It's gorgeous in a weird ass way. The story is very Morrison-y in my mind.
I don't disagree with everything you're saying. It's written by Dennis Camp, art by Javier Rodríguez. I agree with you, but I felt this ending was so satisfying because I felt like he was able to close out the story at some. There's a lot of trippiness to it, but at a very personal level, I got
Yeah.
the premise of the story. And what's interesting was it is a story about not John Jones only, but Bridget, his wife. And in this issue, you really discover everything that led to their emotional state to the point that we saw them in issue one. And I thought that was powerful. The reason I thought it made sense is that when we think of where we are today, and obviously an older person, 55 years old, and who I am today was based on all these things that have happened in my life since the beginning and the environment I lived in, right? And that's what this book tells you, right? It talks about the journey these two characters have had. And yeah, obviously we control our own destiny, but in some cases, how how we our mental state and what we think is dependent on a lot of the circumstances that we live in. And that's why even you don't get some of the trippiness of this issue, or some of the plot points in the previous issues, once I read this, I'm like, oh my God, this is a great ending. And I don't know how, I'm so glad they're not doing issue 13. Because I don't see how they could do any more issues after this.
I was even kind of after issue 6, I was like, this would be a good place to stop. And I know that they had originally intended to.
Yeah.
So I do think the back half was good as well. I'm with you though. I'm like, I'm glad they ended it here and maybe focus on some other characters to make Absolute for a little bit. Like, I don't feel like all of these have to be an ongoing series every time.
No, and I think they said that some of this they will rotate miniseries. I do know that the next book together is not a Absolute book. It's a DC Next Level book, which is which is fine.
Yeah.
I
So
but
I'm
dude, we wouldn't have gotten Absolute Despero if we didn't they didn't continue.
oh I know. I'm not complaining about what we got. I enjoyed
His
it. I
work
thought it
wife.
was cool.
I love it when he said I'm his work wife.
Yeah. Yeah. Um
Oh, sorry,
so
works husband, not even wife.
work
Work
husband,
husband,
not even
sorry.
wife. Um I do kind of love how they work in. This is the most overt use of dark side in the Absolute universe
Yes.
is in this series
Hmm.
because he's coloring everything on a subconscious level, and that's what this book is about.
Yes.
Um, his dark side's not even really mentioned or even alluded to in really any of the other books. Has he been that you can think of?
No, not
Yeah.
directly. I don't think so.
Um, well,
I
you
you
want to
want
talk
to
about
talk?
King Shazam?
I was going to bring that up. Absolute Superman. I've been digging Absolute Superman so much, dude. It's different than the main Superman book, but I love it and what they're doing with it. Like I feel like it's really setting up the Absolute Universe a lot more because you got the the King Shazam as you mentioned, but it's really Black Adam.
Yeah, I mean it's 100% Black Adam, which
Yes,
spun out of that the absolute was it absolute evil
yeah,
or
Absolute Evil, and
yeah,
then you
because
got
we it ties into the Hawkman
which is really
stuff.
cool. You get more of the background of Hawkman,
Yeah.
and Hawkman is a lot more interesting character as you get along in this storyline. Don't you agree? You got
Yeah,
absolute
this storyline he does a pivot.
yes,
Clark is or Hal-El, whatever his name is here, is rubbing off on him after he slaughtered all these heroes over the last 50 years. He's like,
including
well, maybe
Oliver.
they're not. Yeah, yeah. I mean, just one like 2 weeks ago. Um, yeah. You know, I like I like the characters around Superman more than like when I look at Absolute Batman and Absolute Wonder Woman, they're very iconic by themselves. This Superman doesn't have that. He's missing that.
Is it because of the design, or you think the personality of both?
I think it's all of it. He doesn't have that hook besides the fact that the Kents didn't raise him and it hasn't played as well as like Bruce not being rich or Wonder Woman being raised in hell and having magic powers. It just besides his computer cape talking to him, which it no longer does. It doesn't seem that different in a way. I don't know. It's just not quite as iconic as those two have been. So I get why people don't like it as much, or it's not getting near as much buzz as the others are.
I mean, I could see it. It's one of those books, again, it took a while for me to really love. I liked it. And I mean, the look, the hair, dude, the hair still bothers me. Let me draw the hair with the blocking one
Yeah.
eye. That bothers me a little bit, but I do like the Superman. I think they're doing it. Jason Aaron's doing a great job. With portraying Clark or Kal-El as a very positive force on Earth, and he's changing people's behavior. Ra's al Ghul, who I forgot was who, because it's something
The main
another character,
antagonist.
the main antagonist, but also looked like Man of Savage, which
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think we get appearance of for the first time in this
Yes.
flashback.
Yeah.
Or
We
yes,
get the absolute Justice League. The
yes.
absolute Justice League 1 million or BC.
I know Jason Aaron cannot stop that, dude. Dude, don't do that, man. Don't do the absolute
and,
Justice League
and who
VC.
was it? We got the Phantom Stranger, Raven, potentially Vandal Savage, and who was the other one on there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Arion from Atlantis, yes. And you get a really cool cliffhanger at the end with something about Superman's armor. So yes, um, yeah,
Yeah, what I was getting at more though is I like the stuff around that's also in the book more than I like the character of Absolute Superman. Like the
I
King
agree.
Shazam,
The
the Hawkman, the Ra's
the
al Ghul, which is
Brainiac is
kind of
awesome.
weird. The Brainiac is fucking absolutely awesome, pun
Yes,
intended.
yes.
Um, that type of stuff sticks out to me more than the Superman. He just doesn't seem as different enough, even though the others still capture the heart of their characters. He just seems like I feel like we could have just slapped Clark Kent in here, and it's not much difference in a way. Which I mean, Diana and Bruce are different, but they still capture that heart of the character. So it's I know that doesn't exactly fit, but this one just doesn't seem different enough in a way.
I mean, I respect your opinion. The artist is Rafa Sandoval, who's been doing a great job on Absolute Superman. Um, I will say though, to your point though, I mean, Absolute Batman and Wonder Woman are peak. Like they're they're like not only the best Absolute books, they're probably some of the best books out there. You know what I'm getting at?
Yeah, and you're acting like I'm not enjoying this book. We've had I think it's fine. I'm just saying compared to the other books that are supposed to be the peak of DC in the absolute line, this was supposed to be one of them, and it's not as high up in people's
Well,
opinion.
I agree, and also like when I think of designs, like obviously I have gotten commissions. The getting commissions of Absolute Batman or Absolute Wonder Woman is much it's much killer. Much it's
Even absolute Green Arrow.
oh that's right. That by the way, I do think Absolute Green Arrow is probably one of the best designs. I mean that design with the and what makes it awesome is the trick air bow and arrow when it turns into
Oh,
swords.
yeah.
Oh.
So anyway, again, I'm enjoying it, but we do talk to folks that are just like, yeah, I'm not feeling the absolute Superman. And I'm more just talking about why I think they're not enjoying it as much. Um, absolute Green Lantern's a trip.
I
This,
might, I'm on, when I go on my trip, I might download all the issues again because it's weird. I'm enjoying Absolute Green Lantern, but if you ask me to explain it, I couldn't
I
explain it.
can't tell you what the fuck's going on. Mogo's attacking people, but he's a Dark Star, and I don't understand what a Tomar is versus a Gold Lantern versus a Green Lantern, and it's it's odd. Like I think they made it a little too complicated.
A little bit, but I'm enjoying it. I actually think both Green Lantern and the Flash got better as it went along. I think Green Lantern definitely after the first story arc, and they brought in other additional characters. Um, yeah, so
Um, what else you got
we
besides
haven't
Absolute
talked about a
Two-Face?
particular book in a while. I just finished the storyline.
Oh goodness, which one? That didn't finish the storyline. It's still in the middle of it. He's
Well,
holding up Wonder Woman by Tom
but
King.
but but has a break now.
Does it?
Yeah, it has a two-issue break.
Oh, I didn't realize. Okay.
Stephanie Williams is coming on for 2 issues, and Tom will be back with Daniel Sampri as well. And I thought this is a good way to, like the first half of this war is very interesting. You, I've really been digging it a lot. Um, I love, yeah, when we met the matriarch, she had a Green Lantern ring. Like, how the fuck did she get a Green Lantern ring? And
Also got a Legion ring. Don't forget that.
yep, Legion ring. Yep, yep. Although I think that's probably from Booster Gold, if I take a
That would be
guess.
my guess as well. I was
Uh,
hoping she somehow got one from the future, but it's got to be boosters.
no, no. Maybe she got it from one of Bendis' lanterns. Sorry, Bendis' Legion. Um,
That disappeared or never not the Bendis. I'm talking the Jeff Johns Legion that kind of disappeared in Doomsday Clock. Maybe it's one of
yeah,
those.
maybe. But in this issue, in issue 34, I thought it was really well done. How they explain how she got the ring, how she control it. When I say it's well done, it plays in the part of how Wonder Woman and her they finally battle, and it's an epic battle. It's an epic fight. Um, I thought it was great. But this takes place in the future, right? It takes
Yeah.
20 years from now, it says. And the future is not doesn't look great. All the heroes are dead. What does that tell you, Brian? I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but what does it tell you?
We're going to go back in time, and the matriarch is never going to come to power.
Yes, I think that's what's going to happen. So we see what happens, but there's a shocking ending to this. But I'm enjoying it. I still think,
Yeah, I love the run. Um, so I'm kind of a little disappointed that I didn't realize there was a 2 month break because this was part four. So it's going to be at least 6 parts for the Wonder War, and now we got to wait 2 more months.
no, I
But
think it's like
I get it.
I think it's like the second. I think it's like the second part is 4 issues too.
Okay, so it's 8.
I don't know if it's eight, but let me this here. This is great. Let me just tell you. Yeah, so in September starts the first chapter of the Wonder War Act Two. So I'm assuming if there's an Act Two, it's not just going to be 2 issues. And there's a Wonder Woman annual, although it's not written by Tom. It is written by Stephanie Williams and Lee Williams, which kind of has some history around it. Um, Matriarch. Um, so that leads into Wonder Woman 37, and that's again by Tom King and Daniel Sampri. And to your point, in the solicitations, they go back in time.
Yeah, they've got to.
So the second
Um,
act takes place in present day.
okay. Well, I'm excited to see where this goes, and once it's done, I don't know how long Tom's going to be on this book, but I know this kind of ties to the stuff with the Monarch dude, the Sovereign. That's what it was, not the Monarch.
You made my mistake.
Yeah, like this one giant big story he's telling. So I don't know what
Yes,
the plan is, if he's going to continue on after the Wonder War and that's going to lead to something else, but I am excited to, at some point sit down and read the entire thing all at once because I think
yes,
it will make a wonderful read.
I agree.
But well, we've been going a while. You got anything else on your list or we want to call it?
I'll call it.
Well, Hassan, um, so next week's kind of a big show, isn't it?
It's very big. It's awesome. Episode 200. I'm
Yeah, I can't
excited.
believe we've made it this far. So, folks, please join us for episode 200 next week. We're doing something a little different, so hopefully you guys will enjoy it. In the meantime, where can they find us online, Hassan?
You can find us on all the social media platforms, including TikTok and YouTube, Comms Discourse 114. If you want to write us a note about this episode or any other episode, you can send us an email at commsdiscourse114 at gmail.com. And please leave a 5-star review wherever you listen to your podcasts.
All right, folks. Well, thanks for joining us, and we will catch you next week.
See ya.